that's for sure.
Wouldn't be so bad for a right-hander. Could have got the hand on the table. Looks pretty good. Well done. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Ooh, just kept going. Is he on the brown? Tell you what, these tables this week have been unbelievably fast, haven't they?
Rumble.
They've played well, but they have been fast.
Even more so than usual.
Good recovery.
13.
Back in prime position.
$14. 21. 22.
Just a little bit undecided on which way to play on next.
$29. 30.
Just noticed a fellow asleep in the front row there, Phil. It's in the second frame. If we go all the way, we're not going to see much of him, are we? Didn't think it was that bad.
Actually had a rough night.
Could have been here for the earlier session.
36.
Good chance this, though, for Liang to equalise.
$37.
Yes, I think it needs to as well, to settle him down a little bit. 2-0 to Judd, and you know what, Judd can just flick the switch, go into another gear, and suddenly it's 4-0. So this can settle him down and get his teeth into this match. I think, you know, I'm going to say at the beginning, I said it's probably a tough one to call the present form of both these boys, but I think
44.
I think Judd, for me, he's just edging it at the moment. Sometimes Liang can be a little bit erratic. Judd's the steadier player, obviously the power scorer, and Liang's sometimes likely to put one in, or the shot choice might not be his best. We shall see, but he's got a good chance here to make it one apiece.
Yeah, that red only just made it into the pocket. Hit the cushion quite a way up.
$52.
Trump thinking about the yellow he missed. It was a very tough pot, and his body language suggested he'd been distracted as well. Had he potted that yellow, there's every
53.
chance this break would have been made by him. As it is, Liang looking at 1-all if he can keep it together.
$59. 60.
It's a little bit unlucky that it's landed on the
65.
cushion, because he caught them well.
That was frame ball. A couple of snookers needed for Judd Trump, so this black to make sure.
Well, that missed yellow by Judd has been punished.
$74. 80. 81. 86. 88.
Now, could this be the first century of this match? Ooh, wants a little bit of reverse side there to get in behind it.
95.
Go on, get in.
Now one ball,
Unlucky.
95.
It was an excellent break, though, of 95, punishing Judd Trump's potting error on the yellow to the full. And Liang Wenbo will be delighted to be level. So one apiece here in Darching. Frame 3 is coming up after the break. Refusing to take a backward step. Both going for everything. Could become a potting shootout. Yeah, so the first semi-final will be on Friday, the second on Saturday, and then, of course, the final over 2 sessions on Sunday. And Liang Wenbo with the first chance in frame 3. Mark Williams still 1-0 up on Mark Selby. That's on table 2, although Selby is in front by 31 in the second. Williams at the table. Martin O'Donnell has taken the opening frame against Mark Allen. And in the other match in this evening session in Darching, Martin Gould, he's been in good form this week. 3-0 up now on Rob Milkins.
Six. Seven.
Looks like he's got the perfect angle here, just to nudge open these 2 reds. Terrific 95 in the last frame. Pity he didn't quite make the century. Liang's at 195 career centuries so far. Nice cannon. Yeah, I think there's a mobile phone gone off there or something. Definitely this lad will go through 14. The 200 mark this season. Good break build-up.
15.
I'm sure happy to put that second frame on the board. Part of this match now, it's one to look forward to. A possible 9 frames to go, who knows?
$22. $23.
I think the pink might have to go behind the pack here. I think, not sure if the pink spot is available. It looks a little bit tight with the red. Doesn't really matter. He's still got the loose red. He can play on the red to the middle and then down for the black. Yes. Referee Wang Wei, I should say. My apologies to him. He was just asking for a couple of minutes to put the pink in behind the back of the pack. But Liang looking to get on the black here with a good angle to get into the bunch.
$29. $30.
Well, that is the perfect angle. If he hits the redness of the pink full ball power, they should scatter. Now this might be a key shot. Well, he did hit that red full, but he didn't come away from the pack with the cue ball. It
37.
stuck a little. And I don't think he's on anything. And that's a pity.
Liang Wenbo, 37.
Well, Judd could have done with the touching ball there, but I don't think it's been declared. Have a look at this again. Caught the red pretty good, but probably half ball would have been better, in as much that the cue ball would have come away from the pack. Judd has already played the safety. believe that. Oh, what a fluke that is.
One.
Oh, could say what a plant. Yes, the hand's gone up. Well, I think he should have played position on a colour. That was some fluke.
Yellow ball. Brown ball.
Changed his mind to the brown then. It's still a safety though.
Now and ball. 1.
Wow, what a pop that is. But I'll tell you what, he was forced into that a little. It was difficult to get the cue ball back to the ball cushion. Sacrificed the position on the colour. He could still take the black onto the middle, actually. And then play a safety. Might take the brown off the cushion.
Brown ball.
Put the white behind the yellow. Well played.
That's wrong. 1.
Well, not clever, especially if he's left this red near the corner.
One. Five.
Well, that's incredible. He's definitely played on one to the middle or the corner. Just look where the white's finished, but I think he's still okay. Can't believe how fast these tables are, Phil. Some of the fastest we've had this season, no doubt. And there's been some good tables this year as well.
Yeah, none of them are sluggish, are they, these days? But this one is super fast.
Yeah, this definitely is a nice rink.
6.
Quarterfinals tomorrow, of course, and then there'll be a refit tomorrow evening for the semi-finals. And the final. The semi-finals over 2 days, of course, best of 17, so we will be down to one table. And then we'll really get into the big money.
Martin O'Donnell has doubled his lead over Mark Allen. 2-0.
Well, these boys today have guaranteed £12,000. Quarterfinalist 18,000, and then semi-finalist goes up to 32.
12. Thirteen. 19. 20. 27. 28.
Mark Williams has just conceded on the pink against Mark Selby in frame 2, so one apiece. Still some way to go in this one. Couple of awkward reds.
Perfect angle here, though, to come off the top cushion and nudge them. Again, this could be a key shot here. If he can get them in play, it might be the frame. Oh, would you believe that? I mean, just a little bit more of a nudge on that second red, and he was on one. I mean, you can stand there all day in the club and not do that again, Phil, can't you? That's incredible, really. I mean, just a little bit more, the red was on.
Very unlucky. Relief for Liang. Just 3 points between them. 43 left.
Trying to use the yellow here for cover. Well, cushion first, doesn't matter, but the white's close to the corner.
Down and ball, 4.
No real damage done. He won't be too concerned with that. In fact, Liang might put him back in. Just caught that a little bit on the thick side. No, I just wonder whether Liang might drop this into the centre. Doesn't fancy it with a cheeky smile. Then will he take it on? I mean, he could play it to the corner. Well, that's a percentage shot, but, well, he's looking at the middle, Phil.
Yeah, on your TV screen, this looks relatively straightforward, but the reality is you've got so little of the pocket to aim for. You've got to be 100% accurate. And always the danger you could leave it. That's a great shot.
Tell you what, he made it look easy. That was a wonderful touch, but well, now then, will he play the cannon onto the red, or will he leave the double? I think he's thinking about the double, you know. Blue into the centre, white just past the pink on the way back. It's downward striking though. He's definitely going for the double. And that needs to go a little bit more. No, he needed to. Well, he can play what we call a crash double and create the narrow angle. He needed that white to be about another foot up the table. He still might play this. What we mean by a crash double, it sort of traps the ball on the cushion and narrows the angle as it comes off.
Risky though, isn't it? Because he's got no clue where it's going to end up if he misses it. Colours on their spots, so big moment this if he goes for it. And he's got it. Wow, he made it look easy again.
Yeah, and it could be the frame winner.
Right in the heart of the pocket.
Yes, it wasn't quite as bad an angle as I first thought. What about that for topspin?
14.
Shades of Cliff Thorburns yellow in the 147 break in 83 at the Crucible.
Yeah.
15 in front. So he needs up to and including the brown.
Just one good yellow here, good position. He's played it exactly the way Cliff Thorburn played. I think Cliff was slightly closer to the yellow, but what about that one?
Well, it was a brilliant red to get in. Delicate touch, play with drag on the cue ball.
19.
And that shot alone was worthy of winning the frame, which he now looks certain to do. This is frame ball. So it's a good response from Liang Wenbo to losing the opening frame.
Yeah, the safety shot from Judd on that red, I should say, the second to last red, was just a little bit on the thick side, bringing it up the table. But as you say, Phil, great red into the middle for Liang to start this break.
28.
Well, sometimes the smaller breaks are even more important.
And frame.
It's only 34, but that was a mighty impressive break of 34 from Liang Wenbo. Young and old enjoying it. And he moves into the lead as a result by 2 frames to 1.
Follow the signs of the ancient peoples, scattered in the layers of history. Unravel the secrets from the past, concealed in the splendor of fabulous treasures. See how the legacy of the ancestors is kept in the spirit of a country,
he is to make the cut for Ali Pali in the new year. Martin Gould now 4-0 up on Rob Milkins. Remember, he was 4-0 down to Kyron Wilson yesterday before coming through 6-5.
He learned that lesson then.
And Martin O'Donnell 2-0 up on Mark Allen.
Yes, and the winner of that match will play the winner of this one. And, well, Liang pushed the boat out there. I did mention it early on in this match, although he does lead 2-1. So an early chance here then for Judd in this fourth frame. Looking to make it 2 apiece at the interval.
1. Eight.
Risk to take, but how well did he hit that? He's got tremendous cue power, this lad, Phil, isn't he? He can really get through the ball. I think for me, he's probably second to Ronnie, actually, with the cue action.
Yeah, tremendous shot. Could be a frame winner.
$17. $24. $25. $32. $33. $40. $41. $48. $49. $56. $57. $64. $65. 72.
Well, the 147 is still potentially on here.
I'm glad you've spotted it, Bill. I didn't.
And you can tell he's thinking about it. Of course, Kyron Wilson, currently the man in possession after his max yesterday.
Well, it's worth £5,000 plus £3,000 for the high break.
So that would be split should anyone else make it.
I always remember that at the World Championship when Ronnie made that 147 and he said that's a new Bentley, and then Ali Carter made one the next day and he said, well, that's a mini-me now. That's going to be a smaller Bentley for Ronnie. They had to split the prize there, didn't they?
Yes.
2 in 2 days. That was terrific. Oh, I think he's missed it. He's missed it. Oh, what a pity.
Well, no 147 for Judd Trump, but the break of 80 should give him the frame, and Wenbo thought about carrying on, decided against it, so Judd Trump equalises at the interval. Terrific mini session. High on quality, Liang with a 95, Trump with that 80. The spoil shared. It's 2 frames apiece. At the interval, they'll be off for around about 15 minutes.
is this place?
The Modern Software Factory, a hub of digital transformation.
Is this where we come to compete?
This is what you build to compete, where insight drives experience, where automation delivers better apps faster, where agile isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life.
What about security?
Strong, yet frictionless. All working together at scale. It's about moving to new from old.
Oh, that's not right. I'll put mine back on.
Unbelievable. Too right. You gotta love Betway's new 4 to score feature.
What?
Because it's free to play every week. You simply predict the first teams to score in the top 4 English leagues.
Something?
I will. I could win 25 grand. You don't need to ask me twice. Done.
After their mid-session interval, 2 frames apiece. It's been a terrific battle thus far, so we can check in on table 2 and Mark Selby and Mark Williams. Selby 2-1 up, but Williams building a handy lead in the 4th. However, the world number 1 back at the table. Still plenty there as well to turn this frame around, and this has become a big frame now, difference between 2-all and 3-1.
Well, it has, Phil, and this is similar to the last frame. Oh, Mark, what have you done there? We thought he was good. Don't get back into this frame, because I was about to say, this is similar to the last frame where Mark started well and Mark Selby came back to win it. But that's a bad miss.
Yeah, he's not quite been himself so far this week, Selby. He's managed to get over the line without playing anything like his best snooker. And just the 1 quarter-final appearance so far for Selby this season, which by his standards is modest. That was at the European Masters where he lost to Bingham. So Mark Selby not quite on his A game yet, and Williams, I'm sure, will be aware of that and probably sees today as a big opportunity for him. Winner of this to play Robbie Williams, so whoever comes through is clearly going to be the favourite against Williams, who played superbly to beat Neil Robertson earlier. It's a big, big opportunity.
And there's no reason why the Welshman can't lift the title this weekend. We know he's got the pedigree, and he's still playing some good stuff. What's Mark now, 42, 43?
42, yeah.
Yeah, still playing some good stuff.
Well, he's been very consistent this season, Williams. He's made a semi-final in Riga. He's made several quarter-finals in the ranking events. And, of course, he won the 6 Reds in Thailand as well. So he's been in terrific form, showing a lot of consistency.
And I think the reason why he's so dangerous these days is because he's got other interests, hasn't he? He's got other business interests. He's coming to the twilight years of his career. He knows that, probably another 2 or 3 seasons. So, you know, in some ways, he doesn't have to, it's not the be-all, end-of-all, is it? What he does on the table. Everything he gets now, for him, is a bonus. He knows that. He's admitted that. So, you know, he's just enjoying himself. And that's where he's dangerous.
Yes, I think his expectations these days aren't necessarily that high, but in the process, of course, he's taking the pressure off himself, allowing his natural game to flow. But this frame not over yet. 47 in it, still 59 there.
Yeah, I'm not having a go at Mark Williams, but you know what I mean, Phil. Like I said, the pressure's off him now, isn't he? Like I say, he's just enjoying himself, and whatever comes his way, he's thinking, thank you very much. But Mark Selby's missed that one.
So that frame still in the balance, although Williams the favourite at the moment. We'll be taking another commercial break, and when we come back, it'll be the resumption of Judd Trump and victories, Selby with 8. And earlier today, victories for John Higgins, Yan Bingtao, Ali Carter, as we saw just now, and Robbie Williams over Neil Robertson. Quarterfinals day tomorrow, then 1 day each for each semi-final. Friday and Saturday, the final ever 2 sessions on Sunday. And £150,000 and ranking points to the winner.
Great pot. That's his range.
1.
You never know. This might go all the way. Hope so.
Six. 7.
Well, he threw himself into that a little bit, but it went in. It was just a little bit of a stretch, actually, for the left-hander. And it's not ideal position. He wanted to be straight on the red above the black. Pink going behind the pack. I mean, he could play this red and just push into the black here.
13. 14.
Well, I'll give him the benefit there. Was that a kick? He was that far away from the pot. I think that could have been a kick.
Well, he hit it thick. I'm not sure. Hard to tell.
Yeah, probably the angle, the floor camera angle would have been better, but I can't see any mark on the black.
1.
Might have been just a misjudgment then.
16. $17.
Well, he shouldn't go into them here. He's still got 3 or 4 reds he can play on. You never know. Should. Yeah, just pick them off. That's the thing to do. Go into the pack when you need to, not before.
24. 25. 30. 31. 38. 39. 46.
'Oh, this is the last of the loose reds, so leave a good angle on the black here to get into the bunch. And he's left it high.
47.
Always make sure of the pot here, though. You can get a bit careless, get the cannon, but forget the pot. Nicely done. Well, he's got one of them out, and he leads by 40. Still going to need
54.
sort of nudge those 3 reds again.
$55.
'Yes, there's one to the middle here, and he's played that beautifully.
60. 61.
Break goes to 61. He's got a 47-point lead, so the black now is frame ball. And he's put these together really well here, Judd. Little nudge on the reds. Well, not as intended, but he can play the double. This is building into a good match, Phil.
Yes, it was an excellent break of 80, wasn't it? With Trump eyeing the 147 just before the interval to draw level at 2-all. He's looking good to move in front now. And that should seal the deal. So it's punch and counter punch. Both players really attacking at every opportunity. It's a great spectacle.
$76.
Rob Milkins has pulled a frame back against Martin Gould after their interval, but still a long way down at 4-1. Winner of that will play Ali Carter, conqueror earlier of Sean Murphy.
83. 84.
'Trump put together 70 century breaks
91.
last season. He's closing in on 500 for his career, 483 at the moment. He's made 24 already this
93.
season. Just a prolific scorer. He does it so quickly as well.
96.
Tremendous stuff. He's taken these exceptionally well. Crowd enjoying the skill on show. He really is flying right now, playing as well as he's ever done. Had a very good season last time out, couple of ranking titles, couple of finals.
111.
The only blot on the landscape was his surprise loss to Rory McLeod, who caused the upset of the World Championship at the Crucible, but that was quite brilliant from Judd Trump. Clears the table with 118 to move back into the lead at 3-2. Winner of this plays either Mark Allen or Martin O'Donnell, and Allen has won the frame before the interval and not before time. 3-1 down. The Antrim Cewist. Mark Selby 2, Mark Williams 2 on table 2. Frame 5 just underway. And Martin Gould 4-1 up on Rob Milkins. This match is worth £6,000 today, guaranteed 18,000 to the winner.
Yeah, just looking at the centuries list there, Phil, as well. That's Judd's 7th century in this tournament. He made 1 in the qualifying. He's made 6 here this week already. We said that he's been in recent good form, and it's continuing. I think they're just looking at the still frame to make sure that the cue ball was in the correct position. There we go.
Just slightly to... Yeah, slightly to the left. And when it's in exactly the right place, that circle should flash. Take my word for it. All mod cons. Didn't have this kind of thing back in your day, Mike, all those years ago.
Excuse me. Didn't even have colour TV back in my day.
Of course, it was colour TV that was very much the reason why snooker took off.
Mm. Yes, pot black in the 70s. That's where it all started.
David Attenborough was the then controller of BBC Two and saw snooker as the ideal way of promoting the new colour TV innovation, and my goodness me, was he ever right?
He was a visionary. Have you seen the new Planet Earth documentary? It's wonderful, isn't it? really is. Some of the film work on there is phenomenal. I was going to have to word with my daughter. It's on my Christmas list. Well, there was a period of time, of course, a few years ago where the game wasn't in a healthy position. Thanks to Barry Hearn and all of his team and Jason Ferguson and everybody there at Bristol, it certainly is now. These boys cannot complain about the riches that are on offer.
Well, Mark Sowerby trousered very nearly £1 million in prize money last season. I'm sure it won't be too long before that barrier is broken, with prize money going up all the time.
Thinking of getting a cue out, Phil. I'll come down and practice with you. I'll put you on the back cushion.
The first frame was quite scrappy, wasn't it? Since then, it's just been a breakfest.
An important frame, this in some ways, of course. 4-2 to Judd. Who knows? That might just determine as to where this match might go.
Yes, trying to get 2 in front for the first time. A rare safety shot.
And it's a good one. Look at that. Behind the green as well. Thought long and hard, but he's played one.
He is a very good tactical player, Trump, and perhaps that will be the difference today. We both know they can score heavily and pot them off the lampshades, but Trump's tactical game is right up there.
I think he's pretty much gone down the path of Ronnie O'Sullivan as well. He's maturing all the time, and he knows that that's part of the game that's needed. And Ronnie was like that, wasn't he, for a while? And all of a sudden, Ronnie was able to mix it, and he's one of the best in the world now. And the way he played at Barnsley, the way he potted at Barnsley, he didn't need any safety.
No, a sensational performance. O'Sullivan back to his very best there. And in truth, he didn't do anything wrong against Yan Bingtao. He was just potted off the table.
Well, he came off and did his press conference, and he said, there's only 2 players who have played as well as that against me. One is John Higgins, the other was Stephen Hendry. So that's a great accolade.
Well, such is the quality of Trump's long game that he'll be disappointed he didn't get that. More so that I think he's left it.
Well, you can just float the blue in, come off the top cushion for the red near the black spot. He's got options here, Liang, but if you can get the black open early, that would help. Still goes to one corner, but to both corners would be handy. Well, that's not bad. He's just flicked that red, but it's okay.
6.
Well, that is careless.
That's the first really easy ball we've seen missed today, and it could be expensive.
And for me, that is the sort of shot that he throws in now and again, Phil, which will stop him from becoming from a good player to a great player, in my opinion. It's only a personal opinion. Those are the sort of shots that he's got to cut out. Well, that's unbelievable. Just as well he's got an alternative. Imagine if he was clearing up and 33 behind and finished there. But he wasn't, and he was able to knock that one in.
Wow, that was close to staying out.
Surrendered.
It was really travelling and it caught the near jaw. Normally they do stay out. Again, Trump feels as though he was frustrated, or distracted, I should say, as he was on the shot.
Yeah, somebody might have been moving in the audience. It's not so bad if it's high up in the stands, but when it's right in front of you.
Rob Milkins has pulled another frame back against Martin Gould, so it's now 4-2, and it's looking like Mark Selby's about to be 3-2 up on Mark Williams. Selby on a big break at the moment. In fact, it's a century break from the world number one. Again, lovely split of the reds from Trump.
22.
Hit that pink right on the apex. That's exactly what Stephen Hendry used to do almost every time. That's why he made so many century breaks, and that's why Trump is following suit.
Everybody's picked up on it, haven't they? You know, the two-cushion escape from Cliff Thorburn was one. Everybody picked up on that. That shot into the pink was the one that they picked up from Stephen. They're all playing it. And it's a terrific shot if it comes out right. The risk is, of course, knocking a red in, but if you don't do that, you've got all these to come.
And it's a real art hitting the pink in the way that Trump did. It's not easy to get it right on the apex, but if you do, it means that the cue ball stays centrally. And of course, the reds go everywhere.
It seemed to be a little bit of a kick. Just slowed up the pace there. That's why he's left himself near to the side cushion.
A 1-2-9 clearance. That's the applause you can hear. Mark Selby back in front of Mark Williams. Looks as though the world number one's beginning to pick his game up. He's the defending champion, of course. Thrashed Ding Junhui last year, 10-1.
44. 45.
Yeah, the centuries at 129 a mark over on the other side was number 57 this week. They've certainly been flying in, including the 147 from Kyron Wilson. Well, he's played that well. We'd like to be a little bit closer to the pink there, so he would have been straighter on one of these, but it should be okay.
53.
In fact, looking at the centuries board, it's actually number 58 because Martin O'Donnell's had one against Mark Allen as well.
60.
He's had two, actually, so it's what we're up to, 59 and counting. Sounds like a Bond film.
61.
Well, this has been another superbly constructed break from Judd Trump. He's on the cusp again. 59 the lead, 67 there, so this black and one more red.
Well, ideally here, he'd just like to find the gap and catch the pink if he's going to play the cannon. And look at that red to see if it goes to the left corner. Yes, he's playing on it, so obviously it goes. There's still another red on the other side, and this red is frame ball for 4-2 lead. Now, we're talking about golfers making the move on the third day, Phil. Is this the time that Judd's going to make his move?
And this, of course, is the result of the short-range pot missed by Liang Wenbo. And these are the frames that hurt when you lose them as a result of an error of your own making when you're in.
Yeah. Well, we had to sell out the last one. Or sit out, I should say. 118 by Judd. Could this be back-to-back centuries? Judd here is beginning to play, and he's nudged that red off the cushion. Well done. He's really starting to find his range. Oh, beautiful.
81.
I think it would be a crime if Trump doesn't become world champion one day, in much the same way as it's a crime that Jimmy White never won it. But there are no guarantees in this sport, no back-to-back centuries from Judd Trump. But what a talent he is, what a natural gift he possesses. And in the blink of an eye, he has moved into a commanding 4-frames-to-2 lead with that break of 81. He needs just 2 more for a place in the quarterfinals.
Follow the signs of the ancient peoples, scattered in the layers of history. Unravel the secrets from the past, concealed in the splendor of fabulous treasures.
Let's just bring you up to date with what's happening on table 2. Mark Selby with a big century of his own just now to move 3-2 in front of Mark Williams as he looks to level the all-time head-to-head between these two at 9 wins each. As you can see, first in frame 6.
Yeah, it's a similar pattern to our match that we've been doing as well. This Mark Selby here looking to make that move.
Looking to make just his second quarter-final of the season, Selby. He's not been further than that so far in a ranking event this season.
11.
Having won a record equaling 5 ranking titles last season, including the biggest 3 available, the World, the UK, and the International Championship.
12.
What a season he had. Back-to-back world titles. It's about the toughest assignment in snooker, isn't it, Mike? Not only to win the World Championship, but then to successfully defend it in this era.
Well, you know, we're talking about Ronnie. He's got 5. We're talking about Ronnie making 7 or 8. But this guy's got, 3 now?
Yep.
And he's only, 34 years of age? He's got 6-7 years in him. Who knows? He could get to 6-7.
Yeah, I think if anyone's going to challenge Stephen Hendry's record, I think it probably is Selby, if he can maintain his desire and motivation. He looks after himself physically as well. No reason why he couldn't be at the top for another 7 or 8 years or more. In the meantime, Liang Wenbo badly needs this frame, and it's not the best of break-offs. Insofar as if you leave a red for Trump, you're in danger. But this time, no cigar.
Nope, quarter too thick. Well, a chance here for Liang then. He's got to strike straight back here.
He needed that. He's been frozen out, hasn't he, by and large, in the last few frames?
Yeah, I'm surprised he played it the way he did, though. I thought he might have just dropped it in and left himself a little bit lower on this black. If he come off the top cushion, it would have been okay. I don't know if these two reds were plant. Just see how he plays this. Could play on the loose one, left-hand side of the pack. Well, it's not a plant. Can he get the cannon? But he's missed the... Oh, do you know, I thought he'd missed that. How has that got him?
Well, once again, with these superfine cloths, and of course, we've discussed this many times here on Eurosport, the templates have been the same since time immemorial, but with the cloths as fine as they are now, I think the ball has the tendency to slide in off the jaws rather more than perhaps it did back in the day when the cloths were that much thicker. There was more nap on them, and so a shot like that on certain tables might stay up. On this one, disappears, much to the relief of Liang.
Well, it did catch a lot of the top cushion, that is for sure.
Nine. Liang Wenbo. 9.
Well, he's getting irritable. Liang, he's missed that by a long way, catching the red there.
One. Seven. Eight.
Well, here we go again then, but this time he's hitting the red instead of the pink. Done it again, caught them well, and he's on the red now, the black.
13. $14. $19. $20. $25. $26.
Well,
31.
Liang missing that pink has allowed Judd back in here. He's had breaks of 80.
52.
And he's He's just starting to squeeze Liang a little bit. If this goes 5-2, that's a long way back from there.
$39. $40.
Well, another tricky little pot, which Trump made look easy. He certainly is queuing quite beautifully at the moment.
$47.
Yeah, it certainly is, and at the right time.
$48.
And he's in the same half as John Higgins, Phil. Yang Ping Tao down there at the bottom. Judd against John in the semis. Not discounting the other players, but that would be a nice one. Even probably Judd against Yang Ping Tao, the way he's playing. That wouldn't be too shabby either.
He's got that cue ball on a very short piece of string 55. At the moment. I can tell you that Mark Williams on table 2 is about to 56. Level again against Mark Selby. Selby having thrown a big punch at Williams with that century clearance just now, but Williams firing straight back for 3-all. And Trump again past the winning line here 63. Very shortly. Just this red with only 51 left.
64.
So snooker's required. And Liang knew the significance of that error on the pink, visibly infuriated by it.
Oh, what about that? He can make the ton now.
70.
It's been a couple of straightforward pots when Liang's had the first chance in the last 2 frames that have cost him. Trump stepping in and punishing to the full.
$77. 78. $85. 86.
Looks like a 485th career century. 26th of the season if he completes it.
$89. 91.
Well, could this be the man to beat this weekend?
On form, undoubtedly, 94. I think, at the moment. He is playing better than anyone else.
Oh, John was on main table today, John Higgins, but he's into the quarters, Phil, and he's been on our radar a little bit this week.
Well, he's only dropped a handful of frames, Higgins. As has Trump. Not even a handful.
Well, this is super stuff here on the Judd and all, and they're enjoying this. 80, 118, 81, and 103 with these 2 to go.
109.
Might be a little bit of an exhibition shot here.
At pace, I fancy. Oh, no.
Well, that was very reserved.
It was, by Trump standards. But he'll make do with another brilliant century. His second of the match, 109, to punish Liang Wenbo's potting error for the second consecutive frame. He's on the cusp now, Trump, leading by 5 frames to 2.
Could have been a little bit close, of course, if he'd cut out one or two of the mistakes. Battle truly joined on the other table. Mark Selby and Mark Williams, 3 apiece. I think, I'm not sure whether Mark Williams made a century actually in that last one. It was 94. I'm not quite sure whether the black made it 101. I'll keep referring to that. Didn't really matter. He won the frame.
Martin Gould within a frame of victory then over Rob Milkins, 5-2. Martin O'Donnell's lead cut to a single frame. Winner of that plays the winner of this. Victories already today for John Higgins, Yan Bingtao, Ali Carter and Robbie Williams over Neil Robertson. That was the surprise. 6-2 as well. Pretty comprehensive win for the underdog.
If Mark Williams comes through that one on the other side, it's Williams versus Williams. No relation, of course. Well, he might have covered that red, but I think he's left one to the right centre for Judd. Well, if it goes past the pink, that is. It's obviously very tight. Well, looking at that, I don't think it will go, but that was a fraction away from going in.
Could easily have left it.
Well, he's just got to try and dig in here and just, well, the old cliche, one frame at a time, you know, 5-3, then 5-4, who knows? So you've just got to play every ball that's in front of you in every frame. That's all you can do. Don't get too far ahead of yourself when you're 5-2 ahead. It's I think Judd's going for this one to the corner. Yellow pocket for the black. Well, that was cheeky, but he played it in such a way not to leave anything. That was quite clever, because I thought he might leave one to the middle there, but he struck it well.
Yes, and with the red spread as they are, had it disappeared, it might have been curtains for Liang.
Foul with a miss.
Well, it's not got there.
Liang Wenbo, 4.
Yeah, I think it was much nearer the cushion. Well, they've got the still frame up, so shouldn't be a problem now. Well, that's spot on. That's it, that'll do.
It's one of those frames where someone's going to make hay when they get in. It's a question of who does.
Well, could we be heading for a re-rack, perhaps? If this stalemate continues. You see, the thing is, Judd is trying this young man's patience here, because I think if anybody's going to have a go, it's going to be Liang, out of the two of them. And that's what Judd's hoping for now, then, is this touching ball. You put the white on the top cushion behind the black. No. Looks close.
Couldn't be any closer, that's for sure.
No, it's not. There's a slight gap there. Well, this is trouble for Judd, because I don't think he can come off this red and get the white, or can he get this white over enough to block the ones to the middle? No, now then, there's a little tempter here for Liang to the left middle.
Crikey, that would be risky. 5-2 down.
Exactly. He's hoping that he'll take the bait.
Well, he doesn't normally hold back, whatever the situation. He's a brave player, Liang. Of course, there's a fine line between being brave and reckless. But he may feel at this stage, well, 5-2 down to Trump, playing as he is, might as well go for it. Try and make something happen. Well played. It was brave. And he deserves this opportunity, because had he missed that, it could have been his last shot of the tournament.
Well, exactly. And you're knocking those in, you deserve all you get.
13.
Well, it's still a long way back from Liang, even if he wins this frame, but it's worth chalking up that red that he knocked in just now to left centre as a possible turning point in this match, because it was a tremendous pot under pressure. And it looks as though Mark Williams is about to move into the lead
19.
in that very tight tussle on table 2 against Mark Selby, who led 3-2, but Williams making another good break to move 4-3 in front of the world number 1 and world champion.
$24. 25.
No breaks of note. He's hardly had a look in, really, Liang, since he fell 2-1 behind. He's had chances, but broken down early and sat out the remainder of the frames while Trump's been knocking in the big breaks. So if he can establish a bit of rhythm again here, then who knows?
Yeah, he's had that 95 in the second frame, but that's been about it since then. It's been all Judd Trump.
33.
But you never know. In this match, they're right. You've had your time. Now it's my time. That's what you got to try and do. That's easier said than done, of course. 5-2 behind. But that's how you've got to think.
40. $41.
An 80 break then from Mark Williams to put him 4-3 up on Mark Selby. Still Martin O'Donnell 3, Mark Allen 2. O'Donnell having led 3-0 at one stage, and Martin Gould still a frame away against Rob Milkins, leading 5-2.
49.
Nicely nudged those 3 reds open there. Getting himself into a nice position to claw a frame back.
$56. $57.
75 left. So a colour after this easy red
62.
should be sufficient to stop the rot.
63.
Let's go back to that opening red as well, Phil. To the left middle, it was terrific, wasn't it? I mean, Judd tempted him there, and he was tempted, but he knocked it in. And every credit when you do this.
Yeah, it was a great pot. It was all or nothing. And that blue should set the seal on this 8th frame and keep Liang's hopes alive. Trump still very much in command at 5-3, but this is sending a message that Liang still believes he can do it. He's still going to be positive, go for his shots, and if he gets them, well, he can be just as dangerous as Trump. So there could be some way to travel in this one yet.
Liang Wenbo, 69, and frame.
Trump concedes Liang Wenbo's best break since he moved 2-1 up here in Daqing. He's still behind, but he's closed the gap to 5 frames to 3.
Every time you call on me, I drop what I do. You are my best friend, and we've got some things to do.
Introducing the Renault crossover range, featuring the
And Martin O'Donnell on a break of 64, looking to move 4-2 in front of Mark Allen. The winner of that plays the winner of this in the quarterfinals tomorrow. Well, that's a misjudgment from Trump. And he's a little bit lucky not to have seen the cue ball disappear there. Cueing's going to be awkward for Liang.
Yeah, and I think the red will pass the brown on the green to the corner. No, he's a safe fill with a cue ball there. This is not guaranteed.
One.
Tell you what, though, how well did he cue that? Dead weight.
He is a brave player. He's gutsy.
Well, he's just beginning to show some form in this match, but is it too late? Five, 4.
3.
It gets interesting.
Four.
have hit that.
11.
He was urging the cue ball to stop. He might still take on the yellow here, but obviously the adrenaline is flowing a little bit. And, well, we know what he's about, Liang. He's at the table and he wants to win the frame there. He wants to stay there if he can. He's had a look at the potting angle. He's having a go at this. Well, he's had a go at that, and he's having a go at this match as well. He's not holding back here. That's good signs, that fall, because the worst thing you can do is go negative. You've got to stay positive and say, well, I can still win from here. Take it on board.
Yeah, and once again, it was a must-get pot, that, wasn't it? But this will give Judd Trump something to think about, because he knows Liang is going to continue to attack, and if he can find his form again, he's capable of turning this match around in his favour.
Yeah, just drop this blue in, land on this right-hand red, and try and cannon the red away from the black. That should be the plan. Just come off the cushion, about 6 inches or so, 8 inches. Well, he's stunned down. I'm very surprised he's played it that way. Well, mind you, he can go back for the blue and then go into the pack.
19.
So the key shot coming up here. Can he split the reds? Can he get on a red? Can he avoid knocking in a red in potting the blue? If he can do all of those things, he's got a chance to make it 5-4.
Very surprised Phil he didn't go in with more power, but he might be able to sneak through the gap there. He could have been lucky. But why didn't he go in with more power?
Yes, I expected him to really split the reds there, but as you say, he's got one. No problem. Another century, by the way, Martin O'Donnell to move 4-2 in front of Mark Allen. What a tournament he's having. That's gone wrong, though. End of break.
Well, I think he should have taken the risk, really, because I've seen Judd a couple of times go into the pack full-blooded and split them wide open. Yes, there's a chance that you might knock a red in, but that's the risk you have to take, and I think Liang should have taken the risk there and gone in full-blooded.
So, a handy lead, but no more than that. 26 points. Talking of leads, Mark Williams 51-0 up on Mark Selby in frame 8, as Williams looks to go 2 up with 3 to play. But as I speak, Selby back at the table and in with the chance to hit back in that frame. That really is a tight one.
looks like he's having a go at this. Here we go. Oh dear. In fact, he might have just been lucky there. He might have covered everything. All reds covered in each other. He's not missing the red, it's nudging the pack. I think Judd's got one. Well, could this be the beginning of the end for Liang Wenbo?
Six. Seven. Thirteen. 14.
Well, I think he'll go into them here. He wants them open to try and win the frame and the match. Well, there you go. What do I know?
21. 22.
There might be a red there. It's in the left corner. Just looking at the one that's furthest away from us with the 3, actually. Let's have a quick look at the pink. Well, if there isn't, you need some sort of cannon. Yes, that tells us that there is a red there. I'm just seeing it on the shot as well.
29.
So Trump goes into the lead in the frame he needs to book his place in the last 8.
30.
Mark Williams needs snookers in frame 8, having been 51 in front. Selby has hit back, so it's looking like 4-all at the moment. Just the one snooker needed, but only blue, pink and black remaining.
Yes, lovely, lovely. Still has the problem with the red on the side cushion, but he's put himself in a good position here. Well, obviously,
36.
to say that the only little bit of insurance that Liang has got now is that red on the side cushion.
$43.
It might be easier if Judd can put the cue ball in such a position to play that red off with another red in potting that one, rather than leave it to the last with a colour. Yeah, I think he'll leave himself slightly low on this next red to try and nudge the other red here, and he should be on the pink. It's not this shot that could be the key shot, it's the next one. That's what he's thinking. That's absolutely perfect. If he just clips this red, he can clip it down towards the middle pocket, bring it into the middle of the table. He's 24 the lead, so red in colour is not enough. He's got to move this red. Well, now he can certainly win the match.
Well, again, this has been a brilliantly engineered break by Judd Trump.
Well, with that red coming off the cushion, obviously Liang is now faring the worst. I mean, Liang really hasn't played that badly. It's just been bits and pieces, Phil. There's just been one or two too many mistakes coming from his cue, and Well, Judd has just stepped in and punished.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? When Liang has made an error, Trump has punished him to the full. He's done it yet again here. He won back-to-back frames with big breaks off
62.
what for Liang were fairly straightforward pots.
64.
It's ruthless stuff from Trump. He's scoring well. He is full of confidence at the moment, feels great about his game. He's already got a ranking
67.
title under his belt this season, with so much snooker still to come. And when he is feeling confident, he is
81.
about as dangerous as they
71.
come.
Well, he might be the man to beat this weekend, that is for sure. You've got Yang Bingtao and John Higgins in the same half. Mark Allen, if he comes through. But this
82.
has been terrific stuff here from the juggernaut.
Brilliance from Judd Trump. He really is a wonderful natural talent, and he is in sensational form right now. He's going to take some stopping if he can maintain the form he's shown today, as he's brushed aside the challenge of Liang Wenbo. What a match. What an entertaining match for the crowd, and Trump has come through by 6 frames to 3. Well, 9 frames that flew by. A match that feels as though it's only just got underway. It's been such fun to watch, but Trump winning through in some style there. Another brilliant break to finish it off. But we've got some more snooker still to come, because we've got the climax of the match on table 2 as Trump signs some autographs for his many fans. And this one, well, there's never been more than a frame between them. Mark Williams still trying to pinch this one. He still needs a snooker. But he's 4-3 in front. Selby was 51 behind in this frame. Hit back with a big break of his own. And Williams with only pink and black to work with here. So Selby hot favourite for 4 all. This is ambitious. And I think that's going to be the end of that. So this is going to be a best of 3 frame match for a place in the quarterfinals here in Daqing. And I can tell you, Rob Milkins is on the comeback trail against Martin Gould. He was 4-0 down at the interval. It's now going to be 5-4 to Gould.
Well, that was a surprise from Mark Selby. I thought he would have killed off the frame there. Missed that pot by a long way.